Okay, what's good, family? So I just wanted to piggyback off of the Tortoise and the Hare video, and one of the messages that came from that video, which is to do whatever it is you do to the best of your ability, which I know is hard to do, right? Because you work, you have colleagues, you have managers, you have owners, and they don't necessarily appreciate the work you put in. Your coworkers probably, not doing the best that they could do, half-assing it. Sometimes your work is actually increased because somebody else is not doing their work, right? Remember when we'd be in school, we'd have group projects, and you'd have like one person on a group not holding their weight, and you're like, damn, we all gonna get the same grade. I'm putting in all this work, this person is doing next to nothing. It's like, I'm carrying them, whatever. But the thing is that when you don't do things to the best of your ability, you actually rob yourself. You take away from your own blessing, so to speak. So let me put it this way. Do whatever you do to the best of your ability, because you don't necessarily know what it is that you're good at. So like, for example, we all are created in the image of God. So there's an aspect of me, an aspect of you that's greatness. Like there's something that you can do that nobody else on this planet can do the way you do it. And that makes you great. Same for me, same for everybody. So when you do whatever it is you do to the best of your ability, it's one step closer to getting to whatever that thing is. Let's put it that way. So do whatever it is you're doing to the best of your ability, because it's the key in you finding out what that greatness thing is. Like, so for example, some of us, we all have natural talents, right? Some of us have great singing voices. Some of us are physically, athletically talented, right? And so sometimes it's a little bit more obvious what we're good at. But oftentimes, even in that, even in the talents we have, there's something else there that we don't necessarily know, and we haven't necessarily tapped into. And so the more you do whatever it is you do with that same kind of effort, where you're giving it your best, you get closer to that. And that's also another reason why you should always try to do new things, learn new things. If there's certifications or licensing and things that you could do that gets you further in the position that you're in, take those on. Do those things. Try out different things, because and they'll tell you the way you do one thing is the way you do everything. So if you approach your job in that same way, doing it to the best of your ability, maybe that's the key in you getting to that second level, that next level that you never thought that you could get to. You see, I have a friend of mine recently who's she has things that she's doing in terms of business. And I told her, I was like, you know what, it's fun. I was like, yo, you have a very strong voice. And I was like, and I told her, I was like, you know what, I feel like the success that you find in the things that you do is more dependent on the fact that your voice is so strong. And when I say voice, I don't mean voice like a singing voice. I mean like voice, like when you speak and people hearing what you say. And communication is like the highest level, is upper level wealth, or upper level commercial ability. Like the stronger your voice is, the more likely you are to have the marketplace reward you. So for example, think about all the people that you know that are wealthy, like extremely wealthy, and you'll find that they communicate, like Amazon Bezos. He's like, one of the top 5 whatever in the world or whatever. So Amazon is a form of communication. And because of Amazon, we can order stuff, and think about how many people have Amazon to thank for not just the ability to get what they need when they want it, and to help them in commerce, and to help them get the necessities that they need with less hassle, save time, things of that nature. But there are people that are actually millionaires because of Amazon. So how many people have been made millionaires because of Jeff Bezos and what he started those years ago during the .com era? So you see what I mean? So that communication led to all of that. So the more you can communicate, The more you can exercise your talent and your strengths in communication, the more the marketplace will reward you. So I was telling her, I was like, you have a strong voice. And I was like, I feel like all the success that you're seeing is actually based on your voice and not because of the other things that you're doing. And then she was real receptive to it. But again, another thing that shows you also is if you have a friend, a family member, somebody that's close to you, and you see that they have something, a knack, a talent, something that they're good at, tell them. We don't always know like what we're good. Like, yo, you know what? Like you're really good at giving advice, or you're really good at, whenever I come to you, I can always count on you're gonna be able to give me this. Like, oh, okay, it's always good to say, because sometimes we don't know. Like, yo, you should look into that. Like, yo, and always look into get into new things, learn new things. We should always be learning, always look to expand our knowledge. And again, approach it the same way. Approach everything the same way you do everything else. So yes, at work, even though people are dogging it and you feel like you might be doing more than the person next to you, don't worry about that, because you'd be letting that person rob you of the ability to get to that next level for yourself. And you'll hear about it all the time. Oh, a waitress or someone who was involved in service, some kind of service position, somebody just walked in and was like, yo, you're looking for a job. And then they hired them to work somewhere else. And it's like why? And a lot of times it's just because people who are in those positions of wanting to have the best people working for them and doing things at an exceptional level, they will notice that, especially when you're involved in service. So they can spot that. So yeah, you could be answering phones, whatever it is you're doing. If you're doing it to the best of your ability, then yeah, someone can see that. It's like, it's energy that people will feel. And it could lead to you meet, and then that's another thing. People like live in New York, and then they pay all this money to live in these apartment buildings in the city, paying these high rent prices, and you're high rent every month, and you're like, yo, why these people choose to live in the city? And a lot of times that's the reason why. It's because you're on the train, you're walking, you're on the elevator, your next door neighbor, the person that lives above you, that lives under you, is involved in this, and the networking potential is so crazy that the networking potential could potentially change your life. It could lead to something life-changing just because you met someone. So that's the thing. You always want to be giving your best, putting your best face out there, right? Like, women with the makeup. You always want to put your best face out there so people can see you for you at your best. You don't want to get caught at your worst. You want to get caught at your best. So I just wanted to share that with you guys, okay? So do everything that you do to the best of your ability. And if you have a friend, you have a family member that is good at something, that you see that they have this talent, like, tell them, like, yo, you're really good at this, or you're really, I always could count on you for this, and it looks like, yo, like, that's something that maybe you should look into, tap into. And then if you see that the person is kind of like on that thing, yo, then it's nothing for you to take a step, grab something, grab a pamphlet, a leaflet, a website, send them some information. Maybe they'll look into it, maybe not, but we're all here for each other. So we're all exceptional. Well, I'm not saying we're all exceptional. We all have a gift, something that only we can do, and we're all different than each other, and we all need each other. So when you're operating at your highest level, that helps me. When I'm operating at my highest level, that helps you. So we're all here to help each other out. We're born alone, we die alone, but we don't have to live alone. And I believe that we get further along in life the more we help each other, the more we look out for another. So we are our brother's keeper, we are our sister's keeper. All right. And so let's go with that. Okay. And let's help that. Let's let that push us on to reaching greater heights. And yeah, that's what I got. All right. So take it easy. Have a good one. Later, y'all.